under the umbrella of what Metropolitan was required to do, not so?
That's correct, Commissioner.
So I find it difficult then for you to say that you had no idea of the existence of Metropolitan and the function that it performed.
That's correct, Commissioner, because if you are not involved or dealing with something on a daily basis, you will not get information about certain aspects of the environment. Like I have indicated, the ECO members will be the one doing the application, then it will go somewhere else for approval. They will get authorization. This, it was not coming to my office.
But you are there from October, and this is around 5 months later. For all that time, you were completely in the dark.
I was not in the dark per se, but I was not fully involved.
You were not in the dark, but you were not in the light as well.
Brigadier, someone was responsible. You tell us in this statement that your superior said you must not recuse yourself from this contract because if there are challenges, you would have to deal with them. Well, someone was dealing with the challenges from October 2023. That's your position. You are in that position. You say at 9.2, part of your responsibilities is to manage the coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring. That's a function you had from October 2023. And so challenges, if your position means you resolve challenges, you would have been the person still at that point. So it's very difficult to understand that you were completely blind or not involved with this function under the Metropolitan contract, and then with Medicare, you are so actively involved in a contract where there's an obvious conflict. So just make us understand how with Metropolitan you're not involved when it is your responsibility, you tell us, to manage coordination of medical surveillance and biological.
Yeah, no, with Metropolitan commissioners, more especially that the contract was coming to an end. And they've been in the game for a long time. There were minimal, sometimes no challenges at all. So hence, maybe by then, it was never brought to my attention so that I can intervene. And what I was informed is that normally in the first year of the contract, the service providers will be struggling with the implementation and also understanding the environment.
Actually, it's a period of 9 months because Mr. Matlala's firm was only appointed in June. So I was just looking at March. So his firm, Medicare 24, was only appointed in June. So you want us to believe that for 9 months you were completely in the dark as to what you say were your responsibilities. Do you seriously want us to believe that that was your position?
That was
or is this a way of wanting us to believe why you suddenly got interested once Mr. Matlala was involved?
Commissioner, it's 6 months. It's not 9 months. But like I have indicated, with the previous service provider, we had minimal challenges which members could resolve.
Oh, it's October to June. How do you count your 6 months? It's October to June.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So for 9 months, you are not aware of your responsibilities and you suddenly become aware of them when Mr. Matlala comes into the picture. And you want us to believe that.
I became aware before Mr. Matlala can come into the picture, which was in March. And like I have indicated, with the previous service provider, there were minimal challenges. The challenges were never brought to my attention because the members could resolve or attend to the challenges. But when the new service provider came in place, there were a lot of challenges in terms of facilitating the appointments, because there's a service level agreement which will indicate once they receive authorization, the appointment must be facilitated. I think it says within 10 working days. You will have authorizations that have not been facilitated in 2 months, in 60 days. And members, the ECO members will be sending emails left and right requesting the service provider to facilitate the appointments. And if they do not get joy, that's when they will escalate it to my level.
Yes, Ms. Boy.
Thank you, Chair. So, Brigadier, just so that I'm also on the same page, you, in the orientation period, you didn't play a role because that contractor in particular was effective, and so no issues came to attention, and therefore you didn't know about this aspect of the role that you have now assumed.
That's correct. Until March 2024, that's when I started being involved in the medical surveillance.
Okay, so this has always been part of your roles and responsibilities. It's somehow an oversight that occurred during the process of your orientation, that it wasn't brought to your attention.
That's correct.
All right.
Brigadier, in paragraph 13, you say you were informed in June. You say in June, the management of quality management was informed of the appointment of Medicare 24 Tshwane District. Is this the first time that you knew Mr. Matlala's company has been appointed?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay. Did you not know that he submitted a bid?
We were not in speaking terms by then.
Well, if you were not in speaking terms, why did you disclose in paragraph 14 to Brigadier Manamela that you have a relationship with him? Because you say, I know Mr. Matlala, and I explained the nature of my relationship and asked if I should recuse myself from the responsibility. Why would you do that if at that time you and Mr. Matlala are not in speaking terms? And you have explained to us that that's how your relationship went. Sometimes you were on off, I think that's what you call it, and you would carry on for periods without talking because at that time you are off. Now, why would you tell Mr. Manamela then, or General Manamela, that you have a relationship with him?
I felt a need to tell her so that she can be aware that I know Mr. Matlala, and myself and Mr. Matlala, we are in an on and off relationship. In case now it becomes on again, so that she become aware.
Right, thank you.
Brigadier, I'm going to be frank with you. Reading your statement, I think you're trying to avoid the obvious. In paragraph 17, you call yourself the end user in relation to this service. That's why you had to attend these meetings with the new company, which means you would have attended service provider meetings with Metropolitan as well. What you are really avoiding is the fact that as end user, you were aware that a contract is coming to an end, and you were aware that in January of 2024, a new RFQ was going out, and as the end user, you would have participated in the creation of that RFQ. And even though you were not a member of either the BEC or the BAC or the ultimate decision maker, throughout the process, you would have been made aware as end user. Because I find it hard to believe that an end user will be in the dark for a period of 8 months. Chair said 9 months, which is correct if you include the October month. I find it hard to believe that an end user won't know that a contract is coming to an end, that there's a new RFQ, because you must know what's in the specifications. And you must know who are the shortlisted people and whether or not they qualify. That's the part you are avoiding. That's why you are telling this commission that your involvement only starts after Mr. Matlala is appointed or after his company is appointed. Because you are avoiding the obvious fact that as an end user, you would have been aware and involved throughout.
Yes, I do not agree, Commissioner, that I became aware of the specification. I didn't know about the specification. I was not even aware of the people that bidded for the contract because it's not within my responsibility. It is the responsibility of supply chain management, who is keeping this process very close without sharing. So from my side, coming from a different environment that was not working with the medical surveillance, I could not have known the specification, who bidded for the contract, what is the contract doing, how should it be implemented. And like I have indicated, there are a lot of responsibilities in that environment, in the environment that I'm appointed at. As part of my orientation or onboarding process, they will take me through them step by step. If maybe I come into contact with something new, I will then ask my supervisor or I will call members in my environment to come and give me a presentation so that I can understand what is happening in my environment. And maybe also one of the things that made me not to be aware of the medical surveillance is because all the administration regarding medical surveillance, it doesn't come to my level. It stays at the level of the ECOs. And part of it, we also have provinces that are also managing the medical surveillance in the province. So they do it on their own unless there are serious challenges which they cannot resolve from their side, then it will be brought to my attention. And with the previous service provider, there were minimal challenges. If they schedule appointment, the appointment will be given, the OC Health will also come and conduct the medical surveillance. And with this new service provider, there will be challenges in terms of implementing the authorization.